We are back live here on PLADOVISION. What's up, man? I got my dude Mel with me.
What's happening?
What's going down, Kenny? It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, we having a good day. As usual, we started off the day with just strictly hip hop, you know what I mean? We got Chris on the box real quick. And today's show, basically, man, we going to be talking about how lyrics aren't as relevant no more, you know what I mean, as they were back in the days. Or pretty much like at the start of hip hop, like lyrics meant something. Hold on, we always have some issues with the music, but. So anyway, my argument to this whole day and this whole show right here is that there's no longer lyrics that are instrumental or, what's the word I'm looking for, that are relevant even to the culture of hip hop. And when I say the culture of hip hop, I mean like the advancement of it and the going further of it. At this rate, with the rhymes that people are saying and what they're writing, that's detrimental to hip hop. You know what I mean?
Definitely is, yeah.
It's a tearing down of what we all were taught hip hop was when it started. Yeah. Now it's the opposite. Like what people rhyme now, the popular rhymes now are the exact opposite of what this dude's talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I put it this way. Since the year 2000, how many rhymes can you rattle off from artists out right now? Or since 2000, how many rhymes can you bring back to mind at the drop of a hat? You know what I mean? Like just we played that KRS-One and instantly you could grab anything out of it.
Yeah.
And start rhyming with him. It don't matter where he's at in the song. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys know, hit me up. Let us know. Hit us up with a message on Facebook and let us know like what rhymes can you actually bust off.
I think the younger cats, they'll be able to.
They got rhymes from their people?
From their folks. What they
I want to hear them though. I want to hear them too.
We kind of ignore them because they don't have any value to us.
Right.
You know, we've heard those artists at the same time, but we understand that there's more to hip hop than what they spitting.
Right.
So we kind of be like, you know, we don't attach ourselves. Whereas that's what the young kids are talking about in school. So they attach themselves, but they don't understand that there's no value there to what they're attaching themselves to.
This is true. So it's valuable to them. They might like it or they might think it's important, but to the culture, and that's what we separating today a little bit, the culture of hip hop and rap from hip hop culture and rap from a pop culture, so to speak. Like the rap that you and I probably listen to, well, I know that we listen to, is from the hip hop culture. It's not from a pop culture. You know what I mean? And you know, it goes back. We're going to go deep today. You know what I mean? We might do a couple segments, but we're going to listen to some music. You know, that's just KRS-One. And let's see. It's thick.
You know what it was interesting about, they try to compare hip hop, they try to say hip hop is violent, but I think it is violent in a lot of ways, but I think they confuse metaphors for violence to killing MCs.
Oh yeah.
So
exactly.
a lot of, you know, they talking about killing the art form and like being good at the art form. It's just a metaphor.
Right.
So yeah, they use guns and stuff like that, but it's not always talking about killing people.
Right.
It's you know, I'm murdering MCs with skill. So I think they confuse it a lot of times because KRS-One right now is doing the same thing as these other cats, but for somewhere in there it changed to where they actually.
We are back live once again. We got murdered a little bit. We was talking about how MCs be getting murdered on record. And a lot of people take the metaphor differently. So,
from the media, you know, the outsiders, the people listening to it. So it gets even more of a bad rap, because they just hear the words, but they're not really listening to the song.
They catching the metaphor, but they're not catching that it's a metaphor. Pretty much. And a lot of there's a lot of that. Some people they won't let you know that it's a metaphor. They just say, the nine, you know what I'm saying, the 9 rain down on the whack MC, you hear the sound something or something, you know, whatever it is. But once the 9 rains, a lot of times that's just the lyrics raining, and emptying the clip sometimes it's just a clip of lyrics.
Your arsenal of lyrics, yeah, exactly.
Right? So that's that formula right there that DOC, back in the days of NWA when they were hot, you know what I'm saying, people picked up on them. So like for the younger audience that might be watching, if you saw the Straight Outta Compton movie, the DOC is the dude from NWA that kind of got skipped over. People probably don't know too much about because his fame was a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
he was behind the scenes.
Like you said, bro, like a lot of times having all kind of crazy difficulties, we still gonna rock with it though. How about that? We rocking in the dark, in the day, whatever. But yeah, DOC was one of the hottest ones. He was writing a lot of rhymes for NWA too. So, you know, a lot of the artists that we grew up listening to had substance, and that's the whole point, like you said. So Mel saying he's not as deep with the history of hip hop or being hip-hopologist or rapologist, so to speak. But the point is, he still has a very decent understanding of the culture of lyrics and what they meant for hip hop culture. So that's what's even more important. Like he said, he's up on the Nas Illmatic and all that. That's some of the most important stuff.
Yeah.
So being that you know that, but you know,
I think certain artists made me stop.
Right.
And
Guilty for you.
Yeah, and Nas was just one of those artists that made me stop. Jay-Z, early Jay-Z, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't really pay attention to Jay-Z until later on, but it was because his wordplay got better. Because before he sounded like everybody else, he was copying other MCs.
Right.
It was like you're not saying nothing.
Or whoever his people before him, he was coming out sounding exactly like you. Right.
And I think that's a problem. Back to the topic of why isn't their iconic lyrics that you recite off.
Right.
You know, you have artists like, of course, Kendrick, J. Cole. Those are popular artists.
Yeah.
But they're different. They're more like hippie MCs.
Right. Yeah.
But these club MCs, they all sound alike. They all spitting the same. They all saying the same thing. So how is it going to stick in your head if it's not different?
Right.
It's going to sound like the next dude.
Right.
So you're not going to have they all saying the same thing. Money, you know, alcohol, women.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
drugs,
alcohol. You know, money. How you tricked it, how you got over on somebody. It's
how you stole somebody's bitch.
Like, what's the point of me remembering it?
I know that. He about to say that too.
Yeah, the next dude comes
he just said that. I'm about to say that too.
Same thing. So what's the point? So like, you know, they all sound the same. Whereas when we were growing up, you know, they all wanted to be different. They all had their lane, so you would remember it because it was a total different thing, man.
So just that alone, just the variety of artists that did different things alone supports the fact that it was about your content more. Like, it wasn't. You know, the funny thing is not so much about the content itself, because the content is still pretty much the same. They just leaving out the most important part of it. Because I've stood up and said before, you know, Run DMC, they did talk about champagne, caviar, and bubble bath. And that's the life that I lead and all that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they were talking about getting to that status. And now we live in that status, and it's more of a prize. It's more of a goal reached. Now it's everybody lives like this. Everybody popping bottles. Everybody smoking the best weed. Everybody doing the best dope now. You know what I'm saying? And like my boy Mos Def said, rap went from selling drugs to smoking it. You know what I mean?
That's another artist I forgot.
You know what I'm saying? The Mighty
another
Mos
one I identify with.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's black on both sides. Oh my God.
Right? Talib. You know, Pharaoh. So there's so many artists, man.
That's what it's about. Like, where is the next Black Star?
No, bro. I mean, like you said, like there's your Kendricks, you know what I mean, and a couple other artists, like you said, your J. Cole's and all that. But that's just two.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
exactly.
That's just two artists, and one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. So we only got two artists that have content now for us in hip hop.
It's horrible.
What kind of system that make, bro?
It's horrible. Right? But I was watching the video last night.